How's everyone doing? This is Oz with Awesome Mechanics, and on today's video I got my 2020 Toyota Tacoma right behind me. So what we're going to do with this 2020 Toyota Tacoma, we're actually going to put a tonneau cover on the back of it. So how about we get to this video and I can show you how to put these on. Alright, so the question is, why am I getting a tonneau cover? And honestly, it's just to put more stuff in the back. So we took a couple of trips, and you know what? We couldn't put our luggage out here because we don't know if it's going to rain. So this is why I got this tonneau cover right here. So the tonneau cover that we have right here is through a company called Gator. And one thing that I really did like about it is that they're made in the United States. And they got different tonneau covers, and honest to God, I got the cheapest one on this one, and it was around 200 bucks. So let's open it up and let's see what we have inside. All right, so this is the tonneau cover as whole piece right here. But what we need to do first, we gotta actually put some little pieces that go in here to make sure that we are completely sealed. It's gonna go right here, and then we're gonna put one right here. So let's get started with that, and then we can start going through this. All right, so what we have right here, we have some little pads, and they're little foam pads, and what we're going to be using this is for the weather. And as you can see, these are for 2016 to 2020 third gen Tacomas. And if we look at this, we're going to put this right between there. That's where we can get water to come in, but those little foam pads are going to protect that. And we're going to stick them on with this rear adhesive that we have back here. Now we just got to put them in there, but we got to remove the rest. All right, so to start off this process, we got to use this T30 right here, and we got to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we remove this, we can actually stick on the little pads on the corners. All right, now that we removed this part right here and we removed the little backing, we're gonna put these little sticky pads right there. And as you can see, a nice tight fit. Now let's go do the other side. All right, now that we have the foams on here, we're gonna go ahead and move this down, and let's just slide this in, and check out that nice tight little fit. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move this in place, and we're gonna line up these holes. Let's get some of the bolts and let's put them in there. And all I want to do is hand tighten these, and once I have all the bolts in place, we're gonna go ahead and finally torque them down. Alright, for the hardware to hold the tonneau cover down, we're going to go ahead and put these little blocks right here. And to put these blocks, we got to run them through this rail. And on these little small blocks, we're going to need 2 on each side. And that's going to be 2 anchors to hold down the tonneau cover. So the first one is going to be all the way to the end, and the second one is going to be right here. So now let's replace this right here, and now we can get our anchors and hook them up to these little pieces. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting these anchors right here before we put the tonneau cover on. And as you can see, there's 2 rows right here. So you got 1 row and a second row. And when we go up here, if we go to the bottom row, as you can see, it's a little bit, it's lower. If we go to the top one, it's gonna be a little bit higher. What I want to do, because these have little hooks on the tonneau cover and they start off at the lowest position, I'm gonna go to the low point rather than bringing it all the way up to grab it. So what we're going to do, we're going to loosely put on these bolts right here. So these bolts are just going to be kind of just hand tight on there, and then once we put the tonneau cover, that's when we're actually going to go ahead and tighten them up when we have the proper position. So what you want to do, you're going to have these right here, and like I said, I just want to hand tighten them, and these can still move side to side. Once we have a proper position, that's when we're going to completely tighten them up. So that's how we get those. It does come with the tool right here to tighten them all the way up. But like I said, for the meanwhile, we're just gonna hand tighten them and put them all on. So let's do all 4 of these, and then we can start putting on the tonneau cover. All right, now that we have our anchors in place and we hand tighten them and we have it at the position that we want them, we're gonna go ahead and get our tonneau cover right here. So this is gonna be our tonneau cover right here, and we're gonna start off and put this on the bulkhead. But as you can see right here, this has a weather stripping that goes all the way around, and it's gonna make sure that we don't have any moisture going into our bed. And we gotta keep all of that, the weather environment outside of our bed if we wanna make sure that we have all our goodies inside nice and clean. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this, pick it up, and it's already in the position that we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna line this up. And all we're doing right now is just lining this up, and I wanna make sure that our end piece right here is lined up to the back, and we gotta make sure that we are lined up on both sides. So right here, I'm just gonna line this up here, and we gotta make sure that on this other side, we have pretty much the same thing. So we're gonna go back and forth until I feel good. Make sure everything's good right there. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna unfold this. We're not gonna clamp anything down. We just gotta verify that everything is nicely positioned. So we're gonna move to this side, and then we're gonna go ahead and close our tailgate and verify that once everything is put down, it's nicely sealed. And as we can see right here, this is nicely sealed, and on both sides they look good as well. So now once we're okay with this, we can start clamping everything down to our anchors, and then we can start putting our anchors down. All right, now that we verified everything's nicely lined up, we're gonna go ahead, open up our tailgate, and then we're gonna move our tonneau cover up. And we're gonna start off with our first anchor right here. Our 2 hooks right here, so one side's gonna be for one side of the bed, and the other side's gonna be for this side of the bed. So remember, these anchors right here, I just kind of had them loosely put right there, so we can tighten this up. Get our hook, and then we're gonna turn this wing nut, and there we go. We start getting resistance. Just want to do maybe a turn, and now it's nicely tight. Now we can move up to the other side and do that one. So now we just got to verify everything's aligned. We clamped up this part down, and I can run my fingers right here. Everything seems pretty good. I'm checking all this out, and as we can see, we are nicely tight in there. So we're going to start moving our tonneau cover back, and then now we have these last 2 anchors back here, and as we can see up here on the tonneau cover, these actually have a spring right here. So that's what's going to open it and unlatch it right here. So this is going to be a little easier. We're going to go ahead, come down. Now if we go down here, we can go ahead and line this up. And what I'm going to do, because this is, you see, a spring, we're going to line this up. Just going to move this up a little bit, just so we don't have to put too much force. Tight. And then we can get our hook right here. And what we're going to do, we're going to pull it down and grab it right there. And that's going to keep it nicely tight. So now let's do the other side to finish it up. All right, so for added sealant right here, the kit did come with this little pack right here. So what we need to do is just kind of maneuver this in place. We're just see where we're going to cut at. And there's going to have some tape on the back. We're going to remove this tape. We're going to go ahead and seal this up. And now we just got to do the other side. So that concludes the installation right here, which took about 10 minutes. And that's from putting on the anchors, tying them up, to verifying that this is nicely installed. And that's going to verify that we do not get any water into our bed. And like I said, I use this company right here, the Gator Company, because they are made here in the United States. And on top of that, it was a really good price. It was just over 200 bucks. So if you do like this video, don't forget to put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get all the brand new videos coming out from Miles Mechanics. Hey, how's it? Get on always kind of... All right, now that we have the anchors in place and they're all secured in place, which that's going to verify that we have it nicely sealed. Okay. Did you stop it? All right. All right, so that's the end of the installation right here. Keep it going. Is it still going? All right, so that's the end. Like this video, don't forget to put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the... All right, so that's the end of the... Keep it going. All right, so that's the... All right. The last piece in them. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell if you... All right, so that concludes the install. So this, any water into your bed and make, God, dog it. Here, I got a lot of bloopers in. Now.